Arsenal are closing into multiple deals. After a £50 million here we go. You've also got the future of Ethan Nwaneri. So today we'll get the breaking news on Madueke, reveal Mikel Arteta's reason for making the move, as well as getting the latest on the future of Ethan Nwaneri. We'll also find out about all the drama behind Victor Gyökeres, break down his intriguing interview with L'Equipe, as well as getting the latest on a move for Eberechi Eze. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Bass14, welcome back to your boys channel and I hope you guys are doing sensational. With Arsenal on the move to Spain, let's just say we've got a massive here we go to break down. So as per my friends, smash a like on this video if you do enjoy it and subscribe to the channel if you are new, helping your boy on the road to 300,000 subscribers. But starting off with Arsenal's close deal, as Mikel Arteta has been prepared for 2025-26, the players have arrived in Spain. As the boss greeted the Arsenal fans by signing some autographs, here were the players alongside Mikel, ready to start a brand new season. And the new boys are also in town. Here was Martin Zubimendi and Caparisa Balaga, both a part of the Arsenal camp that has gone to Spain, despite there being no confirmation that Arsenal will play any games. The goal is to go there, return to full fitness, ahead of a few massive games in pre-season, the first being AC Milan on July the 23rd. The Arsenal squad that has travelled has a few star names, but in a pre-season where Arsenal fans are looking forward to seeing a lot of players. One that stands out is star boy Max Staumann. And here he was in training, dropping Mikel Merino, for a guy, as I'll remind you, is still 15 years of age. This tour could be very intriguing, with Mikel Arteta consistently allowing Max to train with the Arsenal first team. Is he going to get his first senior appearance? Because even though I don't think he'll be a starter next season, even if he's able to play minutes at just 15, and an Arsenal team going for major honours, there's a reason why fans are very excited. And talking about brand new midfielders, you've also got two new ones. Martin Zubimendi and Christian Norgard both seen here, alongside the returning Kai Havertz. And in terms of Arsenal's Danish new midfielder, having signed for £10 million with the deal now confirmed, Arsenal have released a fantastic video of his first day behind the scenes. And let's just say things get emotional, from the player being in disbelief after seeing an Arsenal shirt with his name on it, Norgard saying you've imagined it but now seeing it. I think it's very special. It's like Christmas, but even Christmas is real. This does not seem real. To also bursting into tears, watching his son walk in the Arsenal kit. The gist that every Arsenal fan got by watching this video, it feels like a dream has come true. A player that is truly happy to be at Arsenal Football Club, and very importantly brings experience. After the departure of Arsenal's only two players over the age of 30, as things stands, Norgard is our oldest player at 31 years of age, as well as being the former captain of Brentford. Not only are Arsenal getting a player that is very excited to play for us, but also importantly brings leadership. But talking of Arsenal players, what about the ones that are set to return? Starting off with Gabriel Magalhaes. After missing the end of last season with a hamstring injury, as you can see, the player is now back on grass training with Arsenal after undergoing a surgery earlier this year. A player that is also expected to be fully fit come the start of the season, even if Arsenal are on the market for a brand new centre-back. Calafiori and Kivior may be fit as well. If Arsenal have any hope of winning a title this season, we need to keep Gabriel and Saliba fit as much as possible. Then you've got the news on Declan Rice, having suffered towards the end of last season with a knee injury. According to Tom Canson, Declan Rice is following an individual training plan, but his absence from the Spain trip is not a concern. But what about the future of another Arsenal midfielder? Ethan Nwaneri, who's not a part of the Arsenal squad, given extra time to rest after getting all the way to the Under-21 Euros final, where England became champions. But also a player that Arsenal have been trying to sign to a brand new contract, despite interest from top sides in the Premier League. Now according to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal have made progress in recent days for Ethan Nwaneri's new deal. The club represented the vision and project for Nwaneri in the upcoming years, including discussions on game time. Arsenal hopeful to get a green light and sign the new contract, which is gargantuan news for a lot of Arsenal fans. With all the fear that Chelsea might have been hovering, there was concerns over game time, especially when you've got the Arsenal captain in front of you. Not to mention if Arsenal can sign Eberechi Eze, but at the same time being given the number 22 shirts, playing over 30 times last season. Game time has been there for a player who's still only a teenager. The question then falls to Mikel Arteta. How is he going to use Nwaneri in 2025-26? With Arsenal having Bukayo Saka back fully fit, alongside the arrival of a brand new backup wide forward, could we see Nwaneri finally used as a number 10? And more decisively, can he overtake Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard? Questions that Arsenal will have to answer, likewise on the future of Leandro Trossard. Despite reports in Turkey claiming Arsenal have begun contract extension talks with Leandro Trossard, as pointed out by the reliable hand of Arsenal, we have been in talks for a while now, with even Sami Mokbel reporting it all the way back in May. The main point of discussion has always been one thing: what level of wages are Arsenal going to offer for a player that was seen as a clutch hero in 2023-24? Last year wasn't his best of seasons, but having played more minutes than any other Arsenal forward. According to Gary Jacobs, Arsenal are willing to let Leandro Trossard leave the club after he agreed personal terms with Fenerbahce, who've offered him a 3-year deal but have not agreed a transfer fee. Arsenal are likely to want around £20 million. It all falls down to Andre Alberta and Mikel Arteta. How did they plan to use Trossard next season? Because with only 1 year left on the contract, if your plan isn't to have him as a starter, we've seen that Trossard can provide impact off the bench, but has also looked to secure 3 separate forwards. Minutes will no longer be guaranteed, so talk to me down below in the comments. Are you guys willing to accept £20 million for Arsenal's Belgian Leandro Trossard? Now let's get a gargantuan update on Victor Gyökeres, the star striker that Arsenal have been pursuing, already agreeing a 5-year contract. With Arsenal still looking to agree a fee, let's just say the player has been talking. Given a massive interview to Licky, when Gyökeres was asked on how many players has impressed you, he says midfielders like Bernardo Silva, Kovacic at City, or Saka at Arsenal impressive to watch. I have also faced some very high level defenders, like Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba. Mentioning Saka, Saliba and Gabriel is no coincidence whatsoever. This is a player that has made it very clear time and time again. He wants to move to Arsenal as soon as possible. In an interview that he also said, "I am at the table with the best strikers in the world. We are not talking about a player who lacks confidence. This guy has a relentless mindset and wants to come to Arsenal to change the games." Going on to also say, "I only think about scoring and winning. It changes everything. The Premier League, I have spent several years there without being able to play a single match. So of course it's something that I like to do. It would be the great revenge." Bro is speaking like a villain. A man on a mission to come to the Premier League and prove that its Portuguese numbers are no fluke. Is that not the mindset that every Arsenal fan craves to see from brand new signings? After all the reports about Benjamin Sesko, despite being Mikel Arteta as #1 profile target, there was some talk last summer that Arsenal were going to make a move, but the player was not convinced he could overtake Kai Havertz. As you can see, my friends, Gyökeres is a completely different mental profile. Slightly older at 27 in the peak of his powers, doing every single thing possible to get a move to Arsenal. As now confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, Victor Gyökeres will not show up to training at Sporting today, tomorrow or at any moment this summer. His decision is clear as reported during the week. He only wants Arsenal and it's over with Sporting. Gyökeres was also informed the Sporting president about 5 days ago. Gyökeres is not open to any other solution, only Arsenal. Club-to-club talks continue behind the scenes, with even reports in Portugal saying Gyökeres and his camp have rejected 3 separate approaches from Manchester United. The player is clear he only wants Arsenal. Without even playing a single minute for the club, he's already a player that a lot of fans are starting to appreciate. A clear desire to come to the Emirates Stadium and make a difference. A lot of fans dream of the days that players have this desire to come to Arsenal Football Club. With even David Ornstein reporting, Gyökeres does not intend to report to Preseason at Sporting amid the Arsenal pursuits. Ornstein says Gyökeres feels betrayed and believes that Federico Varandas has re-engaged on a pact to let him go for €60 million plus 10, which Arsenal have already surpassed, but still no agreement in place on a fee. One thing is for sure, the player is doing every single thing possible, already reportedly sacrificing €2 million to help get a deal over the line. For Arsenal, it has been a week of the final details, but at one point something has to give, and when you've got the player doing everything possible, knowing that pre-season is about to start, that is because he wants to arrive at Arsenal as soon as possible, learn about his teammates and play together, so on match day 1 against Man United at Old Trafford, he can pull out the famous celebration and show the world what he's about. And the drama continues, as it was confirmed that Gyökeres failed to report to Sporting's pre-season training. The Sporting president has spoken, saying if they don't want to pay Victor's fair market value, we're very comfortable with that for the next 3 years. This strategy is also making it more complicated for the player to leave. Nobody is above the interests of the club, whoever they are. We're calm. Everything will be resolved with the market closing, a hefty fine and an apology to the group. And let's just say the strategy is nothing new. Take for example Pedro Porro's move to Tottenham back in 2023, despite eventually signing for them. As David Ornstein reported back then, the move was initially called off, with the Sporting president intervening. But could this actually work in Arsenal's favour? Because according to lawyer João Caio Guerreiro, speaking to the Portuguese media, he explains that skipping training without a valid reason breaks the rules. If a player does it 5 times, the club can legally fire him. But Gyökeres has already said he wants to join Arsenal. That limits what counts as justification. Sporting could fine him, and if he continues, even terminate his contract. That's exactly what Gyökeres wants though. But for Sporting it would be a disaster. A €65 million asset becoming worthless. So while the law is clear, football is more than legalities, there are strong reasons for both sides to reach a deal. But moving on to Arsenal's Here We Go. Despite many Arsenal fans craving the Here We Go from Victor Gyökeres, instead we have got another one. Following the surprise pursuit of Noni Madueke, a player that many Arsenal fans couldn't understand why Mikel Arteta wants it, this still came out of nowhere and it flew. With Fabrizio already confirming Arsenal did have a great relationship with Chelsea, they spoke to Madueke's camp, they got the green light and agreed personal terms, with all being left a Chelsea to Arsenal agreement. That's where you got a Fabrizio Romano bomb. An exclusive confirming Noni Madueke to Arsenal. Here we go. Fee agreed in excess of £50 million with add-ons included. Green light from Chelsea. Madueke has already agreed a 5-year deal at Arsenal and is now set to complete the move. as Arsenal go shopping to Chelsea once again. There's a reason why a lot of Arsenal fans aren't excited. Not even because the player isn't good, it's the price tag and fund allocation. In a summer where many Arsenal fans have made it very clear, a striker was a #1 priority. Despite your boys still being very confident we're going to get that over the line, the fact that we've gone for Madueke first, if then further down the window you can't sign Eberechi Eze, there will be a lot of justifiably angry Arsenal fans. But with Chelsea set to play in a Club World Cup final in only days, Madueke wanted to play no part whatsoever, with this being a video of Noni waving goodbye, leaving New York to come to London. As confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, Madueke has returned to England from the US, with medical tests to follow as a new Arsenal player. All documents already between the clubs, after the £52 million package deal agreed on Thursday, with Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca saying, "I said in the last press conference, if the player wants to leave, it's difficult for the club, for the manager. Noni Madueke's desire was to leave. No one said to Noni, you have to leave, but if he's happy, we're happy." Essentially confirming Madueke wasn't available on the market, but because Arsenal identified his profile and spoke to him, he made it very clear that he wanted to move to the Emirates Stadium. For a lot of Arsenal fans, they don't even mind the player. The idea of finally having a backup for Gyökeres of a high level is definitely not the wrong move, but it all falls down to the massive price tag. As according to Sky Sports News, Madueke's transfer fee is £48 million, plus only £4 million in add-ons. To guarantee that same level of money, it's a major risk for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal Football Club, having already signed Kai Havertz back in summer 2023, in what many saw as a controversial move. In the case of Madueke, only 23 years of age, he's another player they're going to have to refine. Despite mainly thriving on the right-hand side, Mikel Arteta has always wanted another left-footed wide forward, whether Rafinha in summer 2022, or even Leroy Sané in summer 2025. Madueke in many eyes isn't a very aesthetic player. Despite being able to take on his man, his dribbling style can look unorthodox, but ultimately Arsenal fans won't care if you were effective. So for an Arsenal team that needed ball carriers going into the new season, trying to finally crack the low blocks, having seen Madueke for Arsenal against PSV back in 2022, taking on player after player and causing so many issues. Last year he was in the top 1 percentile for progressive carries in all of Europe, a whopping 6.82 per 90. Not only higher than Bukayo Saka's 5, but also ahead of Gabriel Martinelli's 4.69. And that, my friends, isn't in the Portuguese League or the Eredivisie. We are talking about the Premier League. So having seen some Arsenal fans start a petition to stop the signing of Madueke that collected over 2,200 signatures, I myself still think we shouldn't have paid the money. By no means was he ever my priority. But at the same time, you can't blame the player for that. With all the hate, the hashtags no to Madueke, despite the pressure to win trophies next season, as a fan we cannot forget our obligation. When you support a club, you back the players. And for a player who hasn't even played a single minute, we are not signing the worst winger in the world. At 23 years of age, his numbers have been decent. To look at all those numbers and see the player play, he deserves a chance at the bare minimum. But at the same time, there will also be a lot of Arsenal fans questioning, if Arsenal have signed Madueke, what does that mean for Real Madrid's Rodrigo? A player that was confirmed as Arsenal's #1 wide forward target, being able to play mainly on the left-hand side after being benched for 5 games in a row by Real Madrid, as they were knocked out of the FIFA Club World Cup, with even Xavi Alonso confirming Rodrigo playing 0 minutes was a technical decision. We believe that we needed different players. But was that him protecting a player to avoid any chance of injury because they want to sell? The likes of Fabrizio Romano have already confirmed Real Madrid have made Rodrigo available for the right price tag, but having just spent £50 million on Madueke, looking at a £68 million deal for Eze, alongside potentially 70 for Gyökeres, I don't think Arsenal will have the funds to go and sign a Rodrigo. As much as Madueke helped raises the floor, is he going to be an upgrade on Gabriel Martinelli? There are a lot of questions there to be answered. So after one Arsenal fan spotted this outside the Emirates Stadium, the phrase Arteta are being plastered everywhere, clearly that is one angry Arsenal fan that has gone out of his time, but at the same time you cannot deny the pressure is building. To have taken the risk to sign Madueke, I think a lot of Arsenal fans will accept the deal if we can get one of Eze or Rodrigo. So talking about the Crystal Palace forward, according to Sami Mokbel, UEFA have confirmed the Crystal Palace won't be playing in the Europa League next season, and they have been demoted to the Conference League. That despite winning the FA Cup, which normally gets you into the Europa, Palace are going to try to appeal the decision, but at the same time that can massively work in Arsenal's favour, ultimately reducing the amount of money the Palace could be about to get. Despite Arsenal signing Madueke, as confirmed by Jacob Steenberg, Arsenal are also expected to ramp up their pursuit of Crystal Palace's Eze, who have been looking to add more depth on the flanks, and have acted quickly after identifying Madueke as a key target. With even Fabrizio Romano confirming Arsenal remain in competition with Eberechi Eze, no, the Madueke signing does not impact Eze. This is seen as a completely different case. At the moment the talks are between Arsenal and the agency representing Eze, the player is keen on a move to Arsenal. With even Ben Jacobs confirming Arsenal are expected to make a move for Crystal Palace's Eze, the question becomes, when are Arsenal going to make that first offer? Is it after they get the Gyokeres deal over the line? But also a question for you guys to answer down below in the comments. If our 3 forward signings are Gyökeres, Eze and Madueke, Do you think that's enough for Arsenal to go and win a Premier League title? But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all over social medias, the links are down below in the description. But that was all of your latest Arsenal transfer news today, and after the 3 famous words for Noni Madueke, he's a player I couldn't see Arsenal signing, and now he's going to be an Arsenal player. And you know what? Welcome to Arsenal, and I wish you the best, my guy. Until then, my guys, I'll see you next time, and hopefully get a massive Gyokeres update. In a bit, peace.